And I started in July 11. First of all, it was a more or less a job that I work more than a consultant, because what was done in 2011, there was only planted some vineyards. The winery was not built, and so my main part was all about planning of the technology, which type of equipment we will use, how we will proceed the winemaking, and then to make the contracts to buy all this equipment and growing up the building, and also to learn more about the ripening of the grapes, when is the perfect time for harvest, which different soils we have, and so on and so on and so on, to learn, to get a little bit more adapted to the situation. And then in 2013 we produced our first wines before we sold the grapes, because we have no winery. Yeah, I saw the potential of the Crimea, because we have perfect soils, we have in general perfect climate. And it was not a possibility for me, or it was never an option to go back, only by the political situation. I'm a non-political person in general. I'm a winemaker, and that's my passion and that's my life, and for all the conditions didn't change dramatically for me, and that's the reason to join this project. For sure I can't go to Ukraine now, maybe with my passport, but okay, shit happens. For me nothing changed, or more or less nothing changed. Some personal things changed, that mobile phone don't work and some other shits by the sanctions, but in general the project is a project. So, and if I start something I will finish it, the project. In general, we are at the beginning. We make a big step year by year. First of all, it depends on the age of our vineyards. The oldest vineyards are now 10 years old. This is not an age for a vineyard. And we learn much more about our microclimate, our conditions, on which part of the vineyards we get which quality, and so on and so on. And we are more or less still in the experimental phase, where we work with, we learn every year. And if you see in Europe, normally wineries have 100 years or centuries of history, and they know exactly their conditions, and we, after 10 years, we are really at the beginning. So we have big steps to do in the future, and now we start with planting of the autochthone varieties, which is well adapted to the climate and the soil, and to make our experience with autochthone varieties like Kefesia, Kokür, Zaparavi, and so on and so on. So this will be the next step, and even with our winemaking technology, we go on and on and on. We try different type of barrels, different type of wood, which could fit better, and so on and so on. So many new projects and many new ideas. Make sparkling wine, traditional method sparkling wines, and a lot of plans. First step is, what you must know is quality is growing in the vineyard, and it's not made in the cellar, it is grown in the vineyard. So take care about your vineyard, take care about your grapes, that you have healthy, ripened grapes. What we do in our winery is just to do as less as possible to keep the quality from that grape quality which we get in the harvest. And that's one of the reasons why we work with a gravity system that avoids any pumping. So we collect our grapes on the roof, and by gravity it falls down to the press. From the press, with gravity, the juice runs to the tanks. And what is also a big step, which wasn't here before, is that we have possibility for cooling all our tanks. So we make a cold fermentation, which means a slower fermentation and without so much higher temperature, which takes away good flavors, and even with the higher production of CO2 during the fermentation, you lost a lot of the aromas. If you make a cold fermentation, you keep these aromas and you get more fruity and fresh wines. And then it's just to keep it a little bit on the fine lees, then make not more than one filtration if possible, and then the wines are ready for bottling. It's not a big secret, but the secret is that to do as less as possible and to have good quality grapes, high quality grapes. That's the main thing. Our Sauvignon Blanc grape we make since 2014. We make ice wine because the climate in Crimea allows us to make ice wine, because we have nearly every winter we have these cold temperatures. For ice wine it must be minimum -7, -8 degrees during the pressing of the grapes. It means -10, -11 during harvest. All water in the berries, it is frozen, and what's left, it is only the concentrate, the aroma and the sugar and the acidity and the minerals. Everything is left because all water is frozen. Our ice wine is natural ice wine. It is very successful, and it is very also a passion of myself to make some natural sweet wines, not only ice wine, also this what we call TBA, Trockenbeerenauslese is the German word, which means dry berries. Simple answer is yes. Otherwise, I will not live here for 7 years. So, from my kind of view, it is worse to live in Crimea. You have very nice landscape, you have good climate, you have very friendly and nice, open people. So that all makes Crimea a very good place to live. Not everything is perfect, for sure not. Even now with some sanctions, which give some problems. That not everything what you want is available in the market and so on. But in general, it is a very good place to live.